All right, this is just about TV in general, TV, movies, comics, what have you. I saw an interesting post online today, so before going forward, let's go ahead and, do the following, the housework. Go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content on the channel. And also, if you haven't done so, go down to that description box on my videos, because some people want to know where they can follow me online. And, not only do I post the picture in my videos with my social media information, but if you just want to get the links directly, go ahead down to that description box. Everything is down there. And the post I saw was, do you think TV shows should incorporate COVID-19 into their storylines? And I was reading the comment on the post. There are about 40 different comments, and a majority is saying that they don't want it, but there are a couple of shows like This Is Us and a couple other series that I saw mentioned that do a good job at kind of integrating it without shoving it in your face. And I did a video kind of like, not necessarily a full trailer breakdown, but more so of a reaction to the Queen Sugar trailer for season 5. The trailer was top notch. It felt so real, and it really embodied 2020, from the pandemic to the protests, George Floyd, police brutality, and everything else. But it's just one of those things where I don't know if I want to watch, because 2020 was just so soon. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago. And to be honest, now that we've moved on with a new president and it's a new calendar year, I kind of want to leave. The only reminder of 2020 I want is to get my tax return so I can get those done. That's it. After that, I'm done. I don't want to think about 2020 again. But not just with COVID, but I feel the same thing about like politics, or pretty much any kind of real world, any kind of real world media story, any kind of big news. I honestly don't want it in my entertainment. Not to sound like a sellout, because it's like, well, Jeremy, you sound like those people at the football games who don't want, people protesting the flag and everything because they don't want social issues and agendas to interrupt their entertainment. No, I'm not trying to sound like that. I'm just answering the general question of, should these shows that are coming up integrate the pandemic? Personally, I don't want to see it. It's just one of those things where, once again, it's just way too soon. I don't want to be reminded of the reality of wearing a mask every time I go out in the stores and everything, or, it just, the escapism. That's what I want. I mean, the fact that we really can't go out much nowadays. The last thing I want to be reminded of when I watch the television or computer or whatever screen I'm watching, when I go into that entertainment world, I don't want to be reminded of the fact that, oh, this is what my reality is. If I wanted that, I would just watch the news as opposed to watching a television show. I mean, yet again, there are shows and whatnot that have been doing it with style, where it's like, it's not heavy-handed. That's the thing about it, because my favorite kind of writing, whether it be shows or comic books or whatever, is when they craft it so well that it doesn't feel like I'm learning. I mean, because it feels like I'm watching a great story. Like, I'll remember when I was a teenager and I found out that there were so many social issues that Stan Lee wrote in the animated X-Men series from the 90s, like racism, bigotry, things like that, religion. I'm like, holy crap, I never realized it. Like the mutants, discrimination. And then the one episode with Nightcrawler, it turns out he was very religious. And then I think the episode that awakened my eyes, it was the like 2-parter, because that show was like ripped from the comic books. Like, there were plenty of 2, 3, 5-parters. It was the one where, the hell was that? It was the one with Professor X. It was like an alternate future or something, where Professor X was killed when he was in college, and because he was such a staple in human and mutant peace, that when he died, it's like, without him in that timeline, it created a huge war between humans and mutants. And like, I think Storm and Wolverine were a couple in that timeline. So when they went to the past, and they were in like a bar or something or a restaurant, because Storm was black, they didn't like that. And she's like, what's this? They want to cause trouble because they don't like the color of my skin. And I'm like, holy crap, this show does have messages like that. So when it comes to shows in current day with the pandemic and whatnot, I honestly don't want to see it. But that's just me. I just feel like it's too soon. I don't want to be reminded of this. Like I said before, it's all over the news and social media. When I cut on the TV to watch a television show or movie, I want distraction. That's just my opinion. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you agree, if you don't, that's completely fine. How about this? Comment below some good shows that you've watched in current day that have done a good job with integrating the pandemic. Like I said in my sister's video I just recorded, I forget that season 2 was filmed during the pandemic because it's so good. It's like they jump right back into the story. And I think about the storylines of the characters rather than real world stuff. So that's just my opinion. So if you'd like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.